Radiotystnad tills jag säger hej och välkomna till våra. Hello and welcome to Academy Live episode 31.
31, I did it.
Oh,
I practiced
awesome.
so long. Yeah.
And today, of course, we have, as usually, David Bischow here.
Hello.
And we have a guest, Malin Norlén.
Hello.
And Malin is here because at Profoto we are running currently a theme. We are having a wedding week. Exactly. So why a wedding week? Well, it's mainly because we want to celebrate all the hard-working wedding photographers out there, like yourself. Because once you have you shot a wedding before?
I have shot a lot of weddings.
Okay, so same here. I've shot weddings, but will you shoot weddings?
I don't shoot weddings anymore. No.
Yeah, same here, and that's because it's hard work.
Really,
It's really hard work.
Really
It's
hard work.
long days, and then it's also you have to be very much an all-round photographer.
Yeah, I used to say that wedding photography is real photography because
is.
Yeah.
it is really. You have to know everything.
You have to know every situation, be prepared for everything.
Yeah. And you have to know your gear. You have to know your situations. You have to know everything. It's like that's real photography.
And you have to know a lot of different lighting.
And one more thing, you have to always deliver.
Always
high end.
deliver.
You can't, it's
Can't
no
have a bad
chance.
day.
It's
No.
impossible to have a bad day.
You can't have a bad day.
So it's always a knife on the throat.
On the throat, yeah. And then even, there are a lot of things that only happen once. You can only cut the cake once.
Yeah,
then
and you
it's
cannot
cut.
miss the kiss in the church.
No.
Yeah, exactly. So or the throwing of the bouquet.
Ever missed a kiss?
No,
No, she has never missed a kiss.
I have never missed a
I've
kiss.
missed a lot of kisses. Still unkissed. So I missed all the kisses. and so, but that's the main reason. So we are highlighting a few wedding photographers at Profoto here on the live, and we also have on our webpage. We have some guests on the Profoto webpage, where you have Malin is one, of course, and then we have Vanessa Joy, we have Salsin Kotta, we have Chun from Japan as well, and Two Man. So you can go into the Profoto webpage, and on the first page you'll see read more, and there's this top banner, and there's plenty of good information from all these wedding photographers with tips and tricks and so forth. So we decided that why not invite one over here, because these are probably, well, not the worst, but we're probably the laziest wedding photographers. Or
that is not a good combination.
no,
That's not
No.
it's not our thing, and it would be kind of wrong for us to stand here and talk about wedding photography. Anyway, but then there's also a campaign that Profoto is running, I think globally, where when you buy an A1, you get the battery for free, which is always good to have it extra in your back pocket.
One extra battery for free.
Yeah, so you get an A1 with a battery, and then you get one extra battery.
So we have two batteries.
You have two batteries.
Cool. Just want to clarify that.
Not like a lot of toys. I got so annoyed. My daughter now, she's 18 years old, and so I don't buy toys for her anymore. Now it's just expensive clothes and just pure money. But in the past, when they were small, you always bought toys, and you go, "Oh, this is so exciting!" And there's that battery not included. So I'm actually going to start selling batteries, and then I put a text on that toy not included.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Yeah, the toy not included. So, anywho, Malin,
Yes.
welcome.
Thank you very much.
It's such a pleasure to have you here.
Nice to be here.
Yes, and there's so many things, I don't even know where to start.
Just hit me.
Hit me, yeah. Well, so there's one thing you might not know, or you might know. She's actually a Swedish champion.
I am.
Yes, there's even a competition in wedding photography, and you won the Swedish championship, and which is cool. It's
Thank you very much.
It's
You
so
have,
cool.
you have like a plaque or a medal or
Yes,
something?
I have a medal and
medal.
a plate.
Do you have any medals or plaques?
I actually do, but not
You
in
do?
wedding. Yeah, but not in wedding photography.
Oh, dang it, I don't have any.
I have one in bowling.
Oh, bowling, yeah,
And,
okay.
and I have one. I think I have two plaques for photography, but no medals.
No medals.
No medals.
Nice.
But it was really nice to win that. It was
Yeah.
like, it felt so nice to be recognized
Yeah,
as a wedding photographer.
I mean, I can really relate to that because I think the level of recognition need, if that's a word,
Now it is.
but we
Now it
make,
is.
we make up word, it comes with also the amount of hard work that you
Yeah.
put into it,
Yeah.
and then all those long days, late nights,
Yes.
and those hours of running around with equipment and things that are not the way they should be, you get a little bit of. Pat on the shoulder,
you
and
do.
it was worth it.
It was worth it.
Yeah,
And you are really worth it because
Thank you.
of course.
you make great stuff. I looked at your images now, and I can really see that craftsmanship, which that's my thing. I love craftsmanship.
Craftsmanship,
yes.
Yeah, and I think that you really deserve it because wedding photography is hard,
It's hard.
and to be able to deliver high quality in that hard environments, that is really a really great thing to do. So you really do deserve it.
Thank you very much. And it's so nice that we highlight this because a lot of people, they don't know how much work you put
Exactly.
in
Yeah.
being a wedding photographer.
Yeah. and then also, I mean, there are so many different styles and trends, and I'd like to talk a little bit about trends because I mean, you see everything from dark, moody pictures. You see these hipster type of pictures and so forth, and
And you all seen the hipster type, two people standing
Standing.
just like
Yeah.
this. Maybe look at one side.
yeah.
That's the hipster. You have all seen
Typical
that.
That's the
hipster,
hipster
yeah. But we're laughing. We should probably not be
No.
laughing because if you like that type of picture, awesome. But we had a quick chat before that there are a lot of trends, but at the end of the day, 30 years later, are those the pictures you want or not?
Yeah.
And so sometimes some trends can be really cool and they stick for a long time. Others are just like I wish I could say that, like my tribal tattoo, but I don't have a tribal tattoo. It was really cool in the 90s, but now
Yeah.
it's not. But
Are you sure you don't have one?
yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
No tribals.
No tribals.
No.
But when I started, I decided very, very early that I would stick to a style that is as much as it looked that day.
Very realistic
Very
and
realistic, but you enhance the beauty of the day.
yeah.
And you remove stuff that don't enhance the picture, like a stop sign or an ugly garbage bag
Yeah.
or something like that, but you stay true to the colors.
Yeah.
And to me, that sounds that they won't be disappointed in 10 years.
No.
Exactly. Or if you have glue from fake eyelashes
Yeah.
over the half of the face,
That-
these are things you can remove.
Yes.
But it's the overall kind of realistic,
Realistic look.
so that when you see it, I mean, because the idea is that you freeze time
Yeah.
with the photography, with a photograph, and then you can travel back in time and you get all the smells
Smells
and then
and the feeling
sounds and
and yeah.
everything. So that's really cool. But you do a lot of different types of photography. It's not only
Not only weddings. I
Yeah.
shoot babies, families, couple portraits, like a love shoot.
Yeah.
So basically, mostly humans.
Yeah.
Sometimes a little dog and a cat, but
So not like this guy. He spends quite a lot of time with stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I lately a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And
Things.
I think stuff or things are really handy because they don't do anything. They don't say. They don't blink in the wrong moment.
They don't talk back to you.
They do not. And they don't want coffee or anything. So
They're not
that's
late.
real photography. Real photography. This is just like
It is because I also get the kind of chills. It's like, oh, you have children. You might have a newborn babies. They need to sleep because otherwise it's a
need to sleep.
and there's no button that you
No, there's
sleep.
no button.
No, wait a minute. I'm
You
just
have
gonna.
to, when you do babies, you have to be patient.
Yeah, so that's
Really patient.
Yeah,
really
need time,
amazing.
need time.
And so I mean, there are. But you also with these type of photography that you do with pregnant pictures or newborns, and you still have you're drawn to the more realistic style.
Yes, I am,
right?
and I'm drawn to the interaction with people.
Yeah. Okay.
To
cool.
connect with them. That's
So what is your take on trends? If you have your style, are you not affected by trends or?
I'm not affected by it. That's, I think, because I have been a photographer for so long, so I have really decided from when I started, this is going to be the way I do it.
And you stick to that.
But I can always provide extra copies with a twist, like a moody style or something like that.
Yeah.
But I also say that the originals are going to be in this style.
Yeah, cool. So what would you say now? What is the trend that people ask for if they are really, we want to have that thing that is going on?
It's the moody.
The moody
Yeah,
style.
they want the pictures to be a little darker, a lot of yellow and brown in them, and that's and a little moody. not so
moody
bright and stuff. It more laid back, moody, soft.
So you would say that the trends are more in the post-production.
In the editing part.
Editing part. Yeah, cool. So how do you do your editing? Is it only Photoshop or do you do Lightroom,
first
Capture
it's
One? Or
first Lightroom,
Lightroom?
then something we call Luminar, and then the fine stuff in Photoshop.
Yeah, okay.
Removing that stop sign.
Yeah, removing the stop signs. So if I had a stop sign under
Then it's gone.
my eye here,
Then it's
that's
gone.
cool. Then I know where to go if I ever find a stop sign somewhere.
Yep.
Maybe you should go out photographing and taking some pictures of some stop signs.
I used to say stop signs, but because you wouldn't believe in alleys in Sweden how many stop signs there are in the end of a really nice alley.
Yeah,
Stop signs. Yeah.
Yep.
That's true. But then, of course, I mean, we're all gearheads, especially I think the two of us. We are. I'm really interested in what, because I haven't actually asked you yet. What do you shoot with?
With a Nikon
With the
D4S.
D4S.
Nikon,
That's my main two, and I also have a Hasselblad
Aha.
50C.
Cool. And then most importantly, because not all these, I mean, both the Hasselblad and the Nikon, they are the canvases.
Yep.
And what do you light with?
Pro Photo. No, actually, it started out being Pro Photo because that was the first flash that really worked well with Hasselblad.
Ah, okay.
So that's why we ended up with Pro Photo. So we bought the B1, a set of B1. And then when the A1 came, we bought two of those as well.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So you shoot Hasselblad at like receptions and everything?
No,
or
because
when do you-
receptions are, then you have to, the camera has to be more quick to take the focus straight away. So it's more during the portraits on weddings. Because the focus time is a little bit slower on Hasselblad.
It's a bit of a different process, but but let's take a look at a couple of pictures of yours. Here we go. Here's one picture. We see here. Can you tell us a little bit about this shot?
Yeah, this was quite late in the evening, and it was raining a bit that day, but we realized that, I think the cloud is moving a bit, so we will have some sunset in the background.
So you saw that the sun were there, and you were seeing this pregnant moment to be a decisive moment.
Yes.
And took it. That's
So it was too dark we didn't want to lose the background. So that's why we brought our A1 to just highlight a couple a little bit, 45 degrees from the angle, and having the flash pointing down at them.
okay.
So we can still have them in a really nice light and still have that sunset and the water in the behind.
It's beautiful, and this is also something that we've spent quite a few episodes I'm talking about is that, you know, start with the background, expose
Yeah.
your camera for the background, and then
Then
work
add-
yourself towards the camera, and then use the light.
And then add the light. And as you can see here, that I think this is a really beautiful image.
you.
You can see that the flash doesn't scream, "Hello, I'm a flash."
Yeah.
The flash
It just
highlights.
highlights the
Yeah.
couple.
And I think that this also actually is a good example of the A1s, the beautiful light image from the A1,
Yeah.
that you can't really distinguish, you know, where the flashlight is. It's just melting in
Yeah.
Yeah.
everywhere.
No,
So-
it's very well
And
executed.
it's so easy because it's so small and so light.
Yeah.
So it takes like 5 seconds to set up.
yeah.
You don't have to have a lot of stuff with you. It's like because we had like 5 minutes before
Yeah.
the sun would be gone on this one.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can be quick.
And another situation where you have seconds to execute. I mean,
Yeah.
you really, bam, 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 you really have to deliver
Yeah.
and capture that.
And I think actually that is one good example of when do you need a A1 instead of a B10 or a B1. I think that the A1 is a quicker tool.
It is.
It's really quick.
Yeah.
Do you do that with TTL or a manual?
No,
or?
manual.
Yeah.
I rarely use TTL.
Okay.
Usually manual.
Yeah, because you need to know.
Yeah.
You must know what's
Yes.
happening. Yeah. Cool.
And we are kind of the opposites. You and me.
You and me.
Yeah. I'm a TTL guy
You're
and
a
you
TTL
are
guy.
a manual guy.
I'm a manual girl then.
Yeah.
So we have
We
the
are
manual cam
manual
here.
here.
And
Manual.
I use TTL a lot. And
TTL is great.
Yeah.
It's great.
It is, and I was really hesitant in the beginning, and I've struggled with it. But I'm really friends with TTL, so I love it a lot. I even use it in the studio.
Yeah.
If you have a multi-light setup, you know, either I take one group of lights at a time and do a TTL, boom, 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 and then switch over to manual, and then
The hybrid mode thing.
and then everything is set because it takes me ballpark where I want to be.
Yeah.
So it's really a neat way for me to work. But
Yeah.
that's the cool thing with
Yeah.
photography and being an adult. You know,
you
can do whatever you want.
Yeah, but the thing also that ProPhoto is very easy. Like
Yeah.
let's say if I would have started off with 5.6 on that one and
Yeah.
it was been a little bit too much, you really learn fast how to correct it.
Yeah.
Then you know, okay,
That's
then I
true.
go back, then I take 5, and then
Yeah.
usually then you're good.
Yeah. And
You don't have to
and that's the thing.
Do 20 pictures to get the one.
Yeah, and it you know it doesn't hurt anyone, and it's so simple to do that. It's not like, you know, every time I do that, I'm overexposed or underexposed. It's not like David gets this knife stabbing in his spleen
No,
or something.
I do not.
Yeah, and since it's
It would be fun though.
yeah,
had
and
that
since
function.
it's so light, I mean, on that picture we have it on a stick,
Yeah.
and
Just like
my assistant is holding it. But let's say if you're alone and you can't do that, you can easily just grab someone from the bridal party
Yeah.
to come along with you, because it's enough for him to stand like this
Yeah.
for you.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's right. So you use it a lot off camera.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
mainly
that's-
off camera.
Yeah, that's cool because sometimes people are a little bit afraid of taking it off camera.
And I love taking it off.
Yeah, because once you start doing
Yeah.
that, you open up so many new doors
Yeah.
and new ways of
And
working with
since
light.
it's so
and-
small, it's also easy to place inside.
Yeah,
If you put that little foot on it,
Yeah,
then you
yeah.
can probably just place it somewhere where you want it, so you don't even have to have one
yeah,
holding
that's
it
true,
or
yeah.
have to have a tripod or anything.
And it's so light that you
It's
could actually
super light.
throw it up and take pictures.
and time to catch it.
We have to try
Yeah,
that.
you have to try that. The best portraits with a thrown A1.
I go TTL and let's play with your A1s
Yeah, just
then,
play with yours.
not with mine.
In your room, you know,
Yeah.
you know, your room with all the pillows everywhere on the walls.
Oh yeah.
In that
When I
room.
get locked in
Yeah.
the evening. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, let's do it in that
When
room.
I get the comfortable long-sleeved jersey. Okay, yeah. Anyway, you get a lot of good tips here. Remember where you heard it first. Throw up an A1 and take pictures and catch it. A new creative way of. So, but you also, we need to continue looking at some more pictures. Here's another one.
Oh yeah,
This is
the
so
party
cool.
pictures
Yeah, party picture.
Party pictures.
Dance floor, a lot of people.
and smoke.
Yes.
I love when we get smoke.
And here's actually a smoke machine. It's not that they're heavy smokers.
No, it's
no.
a smoke machine. Sorry,
cool.
I mean that.
Maybe that could be an update for the A1 to have a smoke
So
machine.
have a smoke machine
built in. Exactly. Like, just 1 second.
A little puff
Okay.
of smoke. So here you have.
Actually, I have 3 flashes. I have one B1
Yeah.
in the behind, and then I have on each side of the couple, I have a A1.
Okay, so yes, it's like a triangle
It's
of
like
light.
a
Yeah.
triangle, yeah. We usually set up our dance floors as a triangle.
Cool. And then you have nothing on camera, and then you
Yep,
just
and
run
then I
around
just
and then
work,
boom, boom,
because
boom.
then I can work all the way around the dance floor. Because
Yeah.
one time the wedding couple is over there, the next time it's over there, and then something's funny happening behind.
Yeah.
So then whoosh, you have to.
You move around.
Yeah, and the light, if you do a triangle, hits the dance floor pretty even. So it
And-
doesn't matter which way you turn.
And you get cool kickers like
Yes.
like this guy who's making the thumbs up
Up.
sign have the kicker on the back. You
Yeah.
always get nice kickers and
So
Oh,
don't
yeah.
be afraid that you can actually see the flash in the dance floor pictures, because that's only cool. It doesn't bother the picture at all.
and what about the people at the dance floor? Do they get bothered by
No,
the flashes?
they don't. A lot of times people actually think it's a dance floor lightning
Okay.
setup.
So the DJ is
DJ is like, good, keep on doing that.
Can you take pictures to the beat?
To the beat. Actually, with Pro Photo you could.
Yeah, that's
because it's so
Yeah.
fast at reloading, so you can just like.
Another good tip that you can do with
Yeah.
with an A1, you can use them as disco lights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. Strobe light. Exciting. No, you're getting a lot of stupid ideas from me today, so don't listen to
Don't
me.
listen
to
to
those two, not me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next picture. This one. Oh,
Yeah,
this one
that's,
is.
that's
oh,
a
they don't
favorite
see
one.
it. Now you see it.
Now you see it.
Yeah. This is a bit special,
Yeah.
and this is kind of fun because you're not using flash.
I'm not using a flash. I'm using my favorite thing on an A1, the modeling light.
The modeling light on the A1, but of
modeling
course,
Yes.
Yes.
that is so
So you don't
cool.
even have to use the flash, and it's even easier because you can angle everything
Yeah.
with the model light until you say, oh, now it's perfect. Stop there.
Yeah,
And then you
exactly.
take the picture.
That is really cool. So that's, I mean, there's also one thing that with both the A1 or the B10s or the B1s that you also have a modeling light, because this situation looks like you have candle lights, it's a dark room.
It's
you have
really
a
dark.
chandelier in the background. You don't want to ruin that
No,
mood.
you want to keep the style.
Yeah, and that's where really using the modeling light is a great idea. I really like that. So
And I think
that's-
people use the modeling light way less than they should. They should
Yeah.
use it more.
I mean,
You can have a really fun time with the modeling light.
Yeah.
I mean, you have the modeling light on the flash, and I never thought about it to use
Yeah.
it like a normal light.
Light.
I mean, for me, it's like, oh, it would be cool to have a light with me. Then I would bring some pocket thing to light with or so. But I have it in my
Yeah.
flash, so I haven't.
And you
that's
can
a good
also,
tip.
since it's so small, you can sometimes even hide it behind stuff that
Yeah.
you want to lit from just a little bit.
Yeah.
Because the model light, you can go even softer than the lowest flash.
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because that, I mean, that happens quite often to us, at least, where we run into that we can't get the flashes low enough, and we use ND filters in front of the flash and so forth. But modeling light is a great.
Yes, and you can also fake with the model light if you have the model light and you have a reflection board.
Yeah.
Then you can put the model light straight to the
to
reflection board
get a smooth.
to get a smooth, even
yeah.
softer.
Yeah, that's true. Very, very creative.
So I love the model light.
Yeah, that's a very nice image as well.
Anders, you should talk to these the R&D guys over there,
Yeah.
and so you can tweak the power of the modeling lights. We can go even lower.
Yeah,
Just-
and
But
of
you
course
can.
you can't forget that you can also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't
but-
know
You can
that.
turn
With
the
A1,
yeah, with
yeah,
A1
you
you can
can-
do that.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of that.
You just
Even David is learning stuff
Yeah,
today.
the A1 you can dial in the power
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
modeling
you
light.
just switch the
Yeah, so
you call it?
it's
Yeah.
so in the menu.
somewhere in the
Yeah,
menu,
in
the
the
power
menu.
of modeling light.
Yeah.
Ish thing.
and you
Yeah,
can
I
also
suppose.
zoom the model light by
Yeah.
turning the.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
You can get it wider and shorter.
Okay, one more tip then, Anders, for the R&D. You should do some CTO, filter kit for the modeling light.
For the modeling light.
A really small filter kit.
They
like-
did that, but for the
Okay,
B10.
you did it. Oh, for the
Yeah.
B10. Yeah, of course.
So there you actually can change it
Yeah, of
from
course.
ice cold to really warm.
yeah,
So there, it's done.
it's done. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the modeling,
But-
using the modeling light on A1,
How does your B10 work?
No, I haven't got one.
Okay. Oh, so maybe that's why you don't know about this feature. Then. You need to buy one. Period.
And you can also use the model light. Let's say if you have a combo that you shoot stills and you make a movie, then you can actually put the model light on if you put it on the camera as
Of
you're
course,
filming on the
yeah,
dance floor to
exactly.
get some
That's a really good
support
tip, yeah.
lighting for the focus and for
Yeah.
So we get.
What is the color of the modeling light? I haven't,
It's quite yellow. It's quite.
Okay, so it isn't like really
No, it's
cold.
no, it's not cold.
So we got some looking at some questions here as well. So did you when you did the picture on by the water? Did you use just a straight flash, or did you bounce it against something, or a softbox, or an umbrella?
I actually just used that little modeling cup that you put on the A1.
Oh, the little dome.
The little dome.
Yeah.
That's everything I used on that one. And just.
So yeah, so I'll just bring it out.
Yeah, sure.
So this guy.
This guy. I only use that one.
Can I put in one comment on this? I always do this comment.
Yes.
You know that this one does not make the light go like this everywhere.
No, it doesn't.
It's the same directed light, but it's much smoother.
It's much smoother.
Yeah. So that is a really big misconception out there, that people think that this one is like an omni-bounce on the old flashes. So to get the light to get spread out more, you need a wide-angle lens.
Or you can
put
on
on
an umbrella or a
and then we of course have the twist trick. When you if you want to stack, maybe not wide lens than this one, but if you have a gel or something, that when you of course I put it correctly. So when you put it like this, and they can fall off, but if you twist it a little, you turn it left or right,
they lock on.
Well,
a
yeah. You hear the click, then you know it's safe.
So
really cool.
You want to hear the click?
Yes.
You want to hear the click.
Click is good. Click is good. And what else? Let me quickly check.
I have to try the model light a little bit. It's really nice.
Yeah.
And you can turn this one to make it more center or spread.
Yeah. And I have to try the change the power. Sorry. Why do I have to do this now? That is so strange. Standby backlight, model minimum, maximum, or proportional.
Yeah, and if you do proportional, what happens then?
And you can change it as you want.
Yes.
Yeah. So
and of course you can use the level of being close or more far away from the object you're actually.
Exactly. So now I go up to the number 10.
Yeah.
Most power.
Yes. And as you can see, it's quite a lot. So if you use it when you're doing movie shot, it's really helpful.
I would say that this is about 3,500 kelvins or so, because it's about the same as this one.
Yeah.
So it's a warm. That is
warm.
really good.
And it's not so hard. And it's not so when you point it at someone, they don't get blinded by it. They can actually look quite straight into it without being bothered.
And this is fascinating. We have talked 10 minutes about one LED that is.
But so it's cool.
But I think a lot of people forget about the modeling.
Yeah,
you can do it.
Yeah. Cool.
Tips and tricks for up and coming.
Yes.
Tips and tricks for up and coming.
Or wedding photographers, or old and lazy like us.
Yeah.
And I know there are 3 things that you at least you have repeated in the past. And the first one is something that both me and David like a lot. Is
practice, practice, practice.
Yes.
Exactly.
Practice a lot.
Practice.
That is a really good tip, because I think that many people think that if you have the right gear, that is what you need.
Yeah.
But you need the practice. Same with the Usain Bolt. He is a really fast runner, but he has practiced a lot. You need to practice.
And it's even more important when you come to wedding, because you can't redo a wedding.
No.
Yeah.
So it's so many things going on, and if you haven't done it before, then you probably would miss a lot of things.
So how do you practice?
I still practice. I go to workshops, and if I have a day off, I usually end up being a second shooter or an assistant to one of my colleagues. Because it's sometimes, even if you're usually the main photographer, it's really nice to be the assistant sometimes, that you are much more free and you can run away a little bit and hide in a bush and see what angle do I get from over here.
Exactly.
Because
you don't have the pressure on
I don't have the pressure on delivering those shots that you absolutely have to deliver.
Yeah.
So practice.
And ask people to join them on weddings. And I mean, don't get discouraged by getting one no. Ask 20 and you will get a yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So practicing, going to workshops,
Yep.
and be a second shooter.
Yeah, be a second shooter.
Really good tips. And I think in all of these are around the area of practicing and learning,
Yeah.
which is quite often, way too often, that photographers forget about investing in that.
Yeah.
And so that's really cool.
And when you go like a second shooter and practice, you also have the time to think a little bit longer about your pictures. Like,
Yeah.
should I scooch down? Should I do this? Should I do that?
Yeah. And it's
Because when it's a real wedding and you're the main photographer, then you just have to know.
yeah, it needs to be an instinct.
Yeah,
You
it
need
needs to be an instinct.
You need to build that muscle memory
Yeah.
on how to work things.
And I think that actually it's really interesting, I guess, when you're doing like portraits, if you're a second shooter,
Yeah.
and to watch that person, the main shooter, how that person
yeah.
is interacting and such. Because I think that I have a special way to interact with the people I shoot, but I don't know how Anders does. But it would be really interesting to see how he
yeah.
interacts. I mean, to get
Yeah.
inspiration to how to do that,
Yes,
how to
that's
pose, how to do
the
everything.
thing. And that's also a trick. Get to know your wedding couple, because then they trust you, and then it's so much easier, and you have so much more fun. And then you can be a little bit cheeky to get them to do that laugh and
Yeah.
things like that.
It's interesting to be that you're saying that you have to have the trust. I mean, of course you have to have the trust, but it's like you are really putting. It's important to have the
Yeah,
trust.
because the pictures become better if you have the trust.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you have fun. I mean, some of my wedding couples I still know today. They're not my
Yeah.
wedding couples anymore, they're my friends.
Yeah.
I babysit their birds and stuff like that.
Okay, so you got birds
Well, so-
instead
so-
of a baby. Okay, well,
we practice quite often with Ken.
yeah, we do.
Yeah, and so now we got a
Ken,
question.
you know what Ken is?
I think Ken, isn't he that
Is
little
it
head?
The
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
head, yeah. So is there or will there be a Barbie? For Ken?
Will Ken have his Barbie?
Will
But
Ken-
but Ken is kind of unisex.
Yeah, he's really, nothing, just plain.
Yeah,
no,
and if you put a wig
special.
with the longer hair,
you
then
could
Ken is a
absolutely.
Kenza
Kenza will come up.
or Kendra.
Exactly. So I mean, Ken is unisexy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess it's a wig thing that.
Yeah. So if you get two
A wig and a
Ken
little
heads,
lipstick, then we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I'll try that on David, but it doesn't work. He's still David. Wig and a lipstick as a nah. So
I don't know why we have this kind of relation today.
yeah. Well,
Tribals and-
I think it's because we spend so many hours in either in a dark studio or
Yeah.
in a hotel room somewhere
Yeah.
in a strange part of the world.
Yes, going down the relation is going just stranger and stranger. So just follow on.
Yeah,
with
just follow
this
that
relation
flow.
is interesting to see where that will happen.
There are some stories to be told and pictures to be shown.
No, no,
No.
no.
But back to you, Malin.
Yeah.
What do you see as some of your challenges going forward or right now? What do you see as some
To keep
challenges?
your social media updated and alluring.
Yeah.
Because I know that even if they find you on Instagram and they see what they like there, they will go to your webpage when you're a wedding couple. And they
Yeah.
want to see like a whole wedding. They want to see, they love if they can see a wedding from the same place that they are getting married.
Yeah. Ah, okay.
Yeah, so always have an updated homepage. You should do it at least once a year.
Okay.
But that's
Yeah.
maybe 3 times a year.
I heard
Yeah.
so many times that people say that, web pages today isn't that important anymore. Instagram is the only thing. But I do understand that
Yeah.
as a wedding couple, you're going to invest money. Then
Yep.
you want to go somewhere to really focus on that product you are
They
going
want
to
to
buy.
see that you can handle the whole day.
Yeah.
Just not pretty portrait pictures.
Okay, so a really good web page, and on that web page, if you can show that you have shot in that particular church
Church,
before,
yeah.
that is something that they
That's
like.
really, really
Okay.
good. So my portfolios are always named with the place
Yeah.
that the marriage is at like, let's say the venue's name or the church
Mm-hmm.
name or the area's name. Because when they go into the portfolio, they're going to look for that.
That's cool to know. Okay, because if you ever get married, I have got married once, and I have I'm not into how you think,
Think.
as a customer. So that's interesting.
Yeah. And I always meet my customers.
Yeah. Okay. So you meet them
Yeah,
before.
I meet them before,
Yeah.
and that also gains trust, and that gives you opportunity to actually have the expectations right. What I can do and what I can't do, and what happens if it rains. What happens if we have a mingle in a really small room.
Okay. So and those things you are saying now, is that typical questions?
Now that's typical things I tell them,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
they don't really know what to ask
Yeah.
sometimes.
Because it's their first wedding.
Yeah, it's their
most
first
cases,
wedding, so
yeah.
they don't know.
Yeah.
Like for example, I think you call it the cocktail hour, the mingle.
Yeah.
I also tell them what can happen during that time, because some people actually think that you can get one good shot of, let's say, 100 people during the mingle that they can use afterwards.
Yeah.
And that, it doesn't work that way.
No.
So if they want you to be sure to have like pretty picture of, like, say, mom, dad, her sister, then we should have some time to actually take real group shots of those people.
Yeah.
Because on mingle, people are all over the place. They
Yeah.
put their finger in their nose.
No, but I think that's also a responsibility you have
Yeah.
as a photographer to actually take charge and guide and help.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would say that's the responsibility you have as a professional photographer. That is
Yeah.
what differs a professional wedding photographer from, like, well, I shot like maybe 50 weddings, but not as a professional wedding photographer. I was like, yeah, I can take cool shots, and I took a lot of cool shots, really nice, but I don't know those things
Yeah.
as a professional wedding
That's
photographer.
why
do.
it's so good
Yeah.
to walk next to someone
Yeah.
as a second shooter, because then you get told all the time what I am doing when I'm doing it. And don't be ashamed that you're new. I mean, you
No,
can
no.
always tell the wedding couple, I'm new, I can't guarantee this and this and this, but if you still want to book me, I would love to do your wedding. Because you have to start somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah,
But my
exactly.
tip is still, before you do your real own wedding the first time, make sure to at least go as a second shooter at one.
Yeah, so there's when you're actually practicing
Yeah.
with an intent. You're going there. You're going to shoot the wedding,
Yeah.
and you are the kind of the backup
yeah.
shooter, and then you can practice on all those things. So that's really good. And then also with any time with practicing, it's always you need to have a plan. Okay, so what am I going to practice? Oh, today I'm going to practice on doing kickers, or I'm going to practice on portraits, or you know, so you just go. Don't
And you
take
have
a camera and go street photography.
Yeah.
Mm,
And then you can also, when you go as a second shooter, you can ask, okay, now you stand putting the couple over there. Why are you doing that? Why aren't you moving them over there?
yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
And what would you have done if it was rain? Or what would you have done if it was sun?
Yeah. And you can really pick that
Yeah.
photographer's brains.
Brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many have you done any second shooter shoots?
Actually, we usually 3 them, because I always have my husband with me.
Yeah.
But sometimes, if the couple is okay with it, I bring a third one.
Maybe you will get a lot of questions now from people.
Yeah, I've seen already a few.
And usually couples don't mind, because I usually suggest to the one that's a second shooter that if you get a good shot, offer it as a present to the wedding couple. Don't say guarantee that you will do it, but most of the times you actually get pictures you do like. And then the couple goes, oh, how nice. We
Yeah,
get even some more pictures.
like
of
bo-
course
bon-
she can come.
Bonus pictures.
Yeah, bonus pictures.
So we have gotten some questions on Instagram as well, that asking, for example, if you use umbrellas.
I use umbrellas.
You use umbrellas,
It could be a little bit tricky when you're outside if there's a windy day.
Yeah.
But since I'm so lucky that I always have an assistant,
Yeah.
I always
That's
get him to hold everything.
Yeah. That's really
Yeah,
good. So
but
that's
if you don't if you just use a beauty dish, it's much easier.
Yeah.
It doesn't catch the wind at the same
it's the same
rate
way. Yeah.
at all. So beauty dish is not bad if you
Yeah.
don't want to use an umbrella.
The good thing with the umbrellas is that they're small, easy to bring, and
They're
they're also
light.
fast to set up, and they're light. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And you can use umbrella on the A1, which is more tricky with a B1.
Yeah.
If you have.
And I mean, quite often you can use a head like this.
Yep.
They're all different kinds of cold shoe solutions where you put the flash here and then you have a hole for the umbrella.
Yeah, and you just put it on a tripod.
Yeah, and then you have a regular set
Yeah.
and you put it on a tripod.
So the main thing with umbrella is basically the wind.
Yeah, exactly. Or if you have,
But inside, it's no problem at all.
Anders is reading questions.
yes.
I actually got one on.
Ooh, here's a good question. Do you take pictures for the florist or for the venue?
Yes, I do. I'm kind of nice. I always offer them my pictures.
Yeah.
Because it's a win-win.
Yeah,
They get
yeah.
nice pictures, and I get my name on Instagram or on the web page.
Yeah.
So I don't charge anything for that. I usually say, "Do you want pictures? No problem."
Yeah, yeah, because that's good marketing.
Yeah,
so,
it is.
Yeah. And if you would recommend two lights, I mean, they need to be lightweight, they need to be flexible. So we had one question earlier in the Insta story that asking, so what lights?
If I was so early when I bought my gear, so I bought the B1, and they're a little bit heavier. But on weddings, it's okay because you usually don't carry them for like 4 hours before you set up your shoot. But today I would buy the B10 and two A1s.
Yeah, that's a good combo.
That's a really good combo.
One B10 and two A1s.
Yep.
That would be the best combo
That
for
would
you.
be because the good thing with this is that you can place it almost anywhere around the dance floor. I mean, for that shot we showed before, one of them were standing on the speaker on the stage next to the rapper. And it's so easy to move because in the beginning I put it on one spot and I noticed that he was dancing a lot on that spot. So he blocked the light and it took like 5 seconds to move it to the another speaker where he wasn't dancing. And that's so easy with this one.
And then also with the...
So how you trigger them? Do you use the
I use the Profoto
air remote. Does it work?
It always works and the batteries last for like forever.
So
I think I change them like once a year.
Well, I've changed mine more often, I think, because I just feel that whenever I start shooting, it's time to change.
I always have backup really close by in my bag, but the thing is, I kind of change them like once a year.
That's cool. And then you have the B10. This is the way I normally travel with my B10. Actually, it looks strange. All the B10.
What is that?
What is that?
So actually, I have a zoom reflector, and so I pop it in like this. So I still maintain the kind of the small profile and keeping it fairly small. But the good thing with this one, it's really lightweight when I need that extra punch. Because when I put it like this, now it equals 500 watt seconds, which is the same, or actually a little bit more even. So slightly more than the B1 that you have, but it's still very lightweight. So
and the battery also lasts for a really long time.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
If I charge them before a wedding, I never have to change them. They last the whole wedding.
So that's a cool way to travel with a B10 with an extra light chipper.
Yeah.
Cool. I want one B. I don't have any B10. Anders, my birthday is coming up soon.
But the thing I got...
I'm busy that day. I'm sorting paper clips. I'm sorry.
So I got the question on Facebook that said, what would be your minimum to bring to a wedding? And that would actually be, today, a B10, a tripod, and an umbrella.
When you use umbrellas, what size of umbrellas do you use?
120.
So quite big.
Yeah, quite big. Because when you do portraits with a wedding couple, you want the light to spread, to be soft, just to highlight them, not be like a fashion shoot when they could be like a really, like more cool, edgy.
That's hard light, Because so when you go umbrella, you go big.
I go big.
And when you go umbrella, do you go white or silver?
White.
To really save so everything
to save the colors. Because I shoot in RAW, so you want to have as much information you can when you come home to your lovely Lightroom.
Yes.
And then we have the tricky part. I mean, we had a question about how do you handle difficult locations like a dark church, for example, or these type of
things. The thing is, when you're a wedding photographer, to buy a camera that you can raise the ISO at is crucial, because you can't put up a flash in church because that will spoil the mood. And in Sweden, a priest will be like, no.
Don't even go there.
Don't even think about it.
But in Swedish, I hope.
No. So actually, I pump it up to, I could be up at 4,000 or 5,000 in a really dark church,
Yeah.
and it's fine, it works.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
don't be afraid to.
And I suspect, glass that is really light,
Oh, yes, of
1.2,
course.
1.4.
As low as they can buy
Yeah.
them.
As
Really,
expensive.
really
As expensive they can get, yes.
good lenses is
Yeah.
always good.
It's also
So,
because if you're in a church, even if you can raise the ISO,
yeah,
if you have a lens that only goes down to like say 4.5,
yeah,
that's probably not going to be enough.
Yeah.
You need 0.2 or 0.8 at least.
yeah, yeah. So that's true. But then there are also other difficult situations that people might not think about, and that's sun.
The sun, especially in Sweden,
Yeah,
our sun is way, way, way up there.
yeah,
So you get all the shadows that you don't want.
yeah.
So
Everywhere like
everywhere.
this, just dark, and
Yeah.
everybody looks like.
So when I do the portraits, I try to find a place where I can control the light with shade.
Mm.
But let's say they're getting married on the cliffs.
Mm. Oh yeah, yeah,
Then you have to explain to the couple what the camera can do and can't.
yeah.
So they don't get disappointed afterwards, because I can't control the light.
Yeah. So you tell them, if you just always raise
Yeah.
your faces towards the
Towards
sun,
the sun.
everybody's walking like
Yeah,
that.
and some people knew there can be a really nice view of the sea. But if I'm to keep the sea, then they're just going to be silhouettes.
Yeah.
So I have to tell them that I have to, offer, get rid of some of the nice view for you to show if
Yeah.
you're standing straight in the sun during the wedding ceremony. And the eye doesn't see it that way. So it's really good to explain what the camera can and can't
And that
do.
is something you do in the first,
Yes.
maybe in the first meeting. Yeah.
And I usually show them pictures so they can also see what I
Yeah.
mean, because it's
Because you've been there scouting
yes,
before, checking out location.
checking out locations.
Yeah. Because that is, I mean, that's the thing with light. Either you don't have enough light,
Oh, you have too much.
or you have too much. It's like that's really that's why.
So actually, I always tell them, if you have a cloudy day, don't be sad.
No,
because that's the
that's-
most beautiful light you can have.
Yes.
And then we will have a sunset in the evening.
Exactly.
You can always turn it into a positive thing. If you have the sun is just out and just bursting down and making your work hard, then you still can say you could be so happy because you have a beautiful day.
Yes.
And if it's
Yeah.
cloudy, you can be so happy because you have beautiful images.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So
But
this glass is half empty.
No, it's half full.
Exactly. That is the way to go.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
no matter what, the glass, there's always room for more coffee.
Yep.
Always room. Yeah.
For more coffee.
Yeah.
No matter which approach you take.
It's full. Always room.
No, but if you say it's half empty or half full,
Yeah.
there's always room for more
Yeah,
coffee.
exactly.
Yeah.
That is the best answer to
Exactly.
that question. Exactly. And I have a question for you about when you're out there, the sun is just, bursting on.
No.
Do you ever use like A1 to fill the
Yes,
shadows?
to fill the shadows, because you can do that during the portraits. It's a little bit trickier during the ceremony, because
Yeah.
then people notice you too much. And that's not a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The best thing is when people say after a wedding, like, "Oh, were you guys in the church? Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Didn't notice you.
I
yeah,
didn't notice you." Then I go like, "Yes."
Ninja skills.
So you never use flash in the church? Have you ever? No.
I have done that when we were alone with the couple,
Yeah. Yeah.
but not during the actual I do part.
Yeah.
Because people get too interested in what you're doing. It's
Yeah.
the same when you
Yeah,
use a
ruin
drone.
Yeah.
You can't use it in some sequences because all the guys go like,
Yeah. All the
Yeah.
guys.
yeah, all the guys.
All the guys. And then they will have beautiful light in the
Yes.
face if you have a sunny day. Put up the drone. Everybody will be like
It's
that.
the same when we do the shots with the couple.
Yeah.
We just like, okay, this is a test run, so you can look as much as you want
Yeah.
at the drone.
Okay.
And then we do it again, and now you just ignore the drone.
Interesting.
Just look at your wife.
Okay, everyone, now look at the drone. Okay, now we're done. You can't look at the drone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Interesting. Cool.
because
That's a good tip.
yeah.
Yeah. To
Actually,
make-
we tried outside the church once
Yeah.
because they wanted the rice throwing on with the drone,
Yeah.
and it worked as long as it stands still. I could get all the guys to focus, but then my husband moved it around,
Yeah.
and then everyone.
Yeah. There's so many challenges in wedding photography. There's always something.
A drone
Yeah.
should be able to lift this maybe.
My
Maybe not.
drone is really
Okay,
small.
small. Yeah.
Yeah.
Too
So
big for
I
a
think
drone.
it weighs about the same as this one.
Okay.
Yeah. But there are some really nice drones that are so small,
Yeah.
but still like 1080.
Yeah, the quality
It's
is.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really awesome. But if is there any specific area, situation that you feel is more challenging than others that we might challenge David on? What?
Okay.
How would David do?
Well, let's first,
Okay.
before you start, I mean, you are a wedding photographer, you're a professional wedding
Yeah.
photographer. I guess that you are going to challenge me in a wedding photography style question of something,
I am.
and I am not a wedding photographer, and I have the highest respect for you and your work, so, okay.
Please let
slap-
it be
slap
lighting
my
slap.
face.
related.
Actually, the most questions I get is, how do you light the dance floor? Because you want the people to show, but you don't want it to be too much, so you kill the party mood of the dance floor. You don't, if you have this cool lighting and stuff like that from, let's say, the DJ, you don't want to destroy that, but you still want the people to show.
I heard that you said, you said that it was like a triangle, that you
Yeah.
put up lights on the dance floor like in a triangle.
Yep.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3,
Three.
and have the people in the middle and you are shooting like that.
Yeah.
I think actually that is the absolutely best way to place the flashes.
Flashes.
If you have it in any other way, or more flashes or less flashes, I would say that the triangle thing, that is the way to go. Absolutely.
That's it.
I mean, if you have a really big dance hall, then of course you need more
Then you
power
need more.
and more flashes and so on. But I mean, the standard Swedish dance
Yeah.
floor room size.
On a wedding are
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Are kind of the same. So I think that's a way to go, absolutely. But what I think that you maybe could play with, because I think that you have found the recipe, what I think is the best way to do
do
it.
it.
But that is to use color.
Oh,
Ooh, maybe on one flash,
Flash?
only one flash, that maybe you know what direction that will, which direction will most often be the back, also the
Yeah,
light from the back.
back.
Exactly, because when people are dancing, you have a lot of lights in the
We
room.
usually try to put a B1 from the back.
Yeah. Maybe just try to have some CTB, a blue filter
Yeah,
on it,
blue filter.
or something red or green.
We have
or
a lot
pink
of them,
or-
but
have a lot of them? Yeah.
I'm not using them so much.
Yeah. So that could be kind of cool to have
The
some
cool
kind
effect.
of
Yeah.
cool effects. But of course, I mean, that means that you can't never use that light.
As
Straight
a main
on,
light.
no.
Of course, because that would be a problem.
Unless you're shooting the Avatar themed wedding.
Ooh, you're so
Exactly.
blue.
You enhance the blueness.
Yes, let's put some blue on the blue. The blue. Yeah, so that is that's my first thing I think about. That
Yeah.
is, how to enhance what you are
Enhance, yeah.
already doing.
That's
And-
pretty cool. I mean,
Yeah.
so basically you are and have been doing kind of the optimal thing.
I
By
absolutely
placing
think
them.
so.
Yeah, but
I would
playing
say
with
that.
filters.
Playing with
that's nice.
filters,
Yeah.
that's cool. And maybe, I mean, since the OCF filters on the B10,
Yeah.
it's really easy to change.
Yeah.
Just pop them on, pop them
Them
off.
off.
So
It's actually the same on the B1.
yeah, of
Yeah.
course. Sorry, I mean the B1. We have the B1. Sorry, yeah, the same.
Yeah.
And maybe, I mean, if there are different kinds of moods on the dance floor,
Yeah.
like everybody is doing the vad heter det?
Oh,
The
the
smooching.
slow
Yeah,
dancing, the slow dancing.
Then you put on the red lights,
Lights.
and when it's like oops, 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 then you put on the pink light.
Light.
Oh.
So maybe you can do
Play
something
around.
out of
Something like
that.
that.
Do something.
Yeah, and we
that-
always, when we set up a dance room, I always end up dancing in the middle, so we can try what happens if I have my face that way or that way and stuff like that.
And do you really dance when you're?
Oh yes, because you have to move, otherwise
It has to be natural.
Yeah, it has to be like dance moves. Otherwise, you're not really sure how it hits you, because no one's gonna stand still on a dance floor.
Except if you're doing the hipster
Oh,
dance
if we're
floor
not doing the
picture.
hipster look.
Exactly.
Or like the way I dance like nobody's looking at me. So I'm really free spirit
Yeah,
and
free
I'm
spirit.
all the crazy moves and it's just all over.
Yeah.
But that's a funny sight though.
One thing more about your
Yeah.
question to
Yeah.
me. I think that it's really important that you still continue to shoot inwards.
Yep.
not
And upwards.
and upwards, inwards and upwards, because if you're shooting like on a wall, you will have a really big, soft, super soft light, but it will look so strange.
Yeah, and that would probably kill the mood a little
Yeah,
bit.
it will look like you're shooting with a really big softbox or something, and it will scream flash light, because in the back
lights towards the dance, into the center of the dance.
Into the center, because I think that mostly it's evening, it's dark.
Yep, it
when
is.
You're, then you don't want to have a lit wall anywhere, because that
And
kills
it's also
the
okay if the light feels a little bit more hard and cool and edgy on a dance floor, because there's no soft romance thing going on there.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think actually that what if you are playing around with the height? I'm just, I'm just being creative
freebasing
here.
now.
Freebasing, totally. Throwing them up in the air. I mean, like if you have it on the floor, maybe that is just for one cool image. I mean, all those shadows that can be created. I think if you're shooting low, it could also be cool.
It could also be cool.
Yeah.
And that's also more okay on dance floor, because otherwise, with girls, we don't like that kind of what it does to our face. That kind of lighting.
Yeah.
And there's one question regarding film or video.
Yeah.
Do wedding couples want video as well?
Yes, it's an upcoming thing.
Yeah,
They usually
there's a
want
lot
both.
more. And you do both?
We do both.
Yeah, you do both. Yeah.
How do you think about a photographer doing both film and still on the same event?
That doesn't work at all.
That's my experience as well.
It's two different way of thinking. The light can be different, and some stuff you have to be really close up when you do a film clip.
Yeah.
And you have to move with the couple when they're walking, and there's no way you can do both at the same time.
So you have a separate videographer.
Yeah. And I mean, if you're in the church, then you probably have to put the film camera on a stand and just press play.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you have
or
no
rec.
rec. I mean,
And play, and then everybody can watch the wedding from last weekend.
I'm not the filmer. I'm not the video guy.
Yeah.
So otherwise, you have no chance
Yeah.
of getting the kiss and the rings and everything at the same time.
Yeah, no, that's true.
And something that's really nice, if you're gonna start do both, take someone you know, because if you think a little bit different, so in the church it's nice to have a look at each other and you know, okay, you mean that I should just walk over here so I'm not in your frame, or should I just without using words?
Yeah.
Because sometimes people that film and you don't know them, there could be like 5 people everywhere, and then it gets tricky for the photographer.
Yeah. Well, regarding to your challenge question, I say that you will already have the solution. Yeah. Because that is the way to go, I would say. And have you ever tried, if you have any problems with the walls, if the walls are getting light. Like if you're having grids.
Yeah, we have grids.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
And that's also easy to put on a B1. It's just like a little filter you just pop on.
Yeah, exactly. But it's the same, both A1 and the B10 and the B1. They all have very easy click-on solutions. Yeah.
And you do them on manual too?
Manual.
Manual.
I love manual.
Manual section here.
Yeah.
TTL is good.
I like the green section, full automatic on my camera.
Didn't you know that P on a camera stands for professional?
Oh, no. I'm at the A for Anders.
And I had the M for Mavid.
Mavid.
I mean, also, I think it's just why I do the manual thing, because it's so easy with these ones.
Yeah, exactly.
You just
need more power,
less power,
Yeah.
and you get to know your flashes really easy. So you know it's okay. 5.6 too much. Let's do 5, and then you usually.
Yeah, I mean, I start in TTL and then I go over to. I feel that I feel
Guys,
upside down.
pop down in the comments. Do you use TTL or not?
Not.
Just let's get a feeling of it.
We are there already been some mentioning about the TTL or not, but for me, TTL helps me getting in the ballpark where I want to be, and then I switch over to manual.
Yeah, and that is a good
End
way
of
to go.
discussion.
Yep.
That's it.
That's it. Nothing to add.
Nothing to add. End of.
Yeah, end of discussion. No, it's not end of discussion, but it has been a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you very much.
And you enlightened at least me with a lot of new insights,
Nice.
new tricks,
And it's really, I think it's really cool to chat with a person with so much craftsmanship.
Magic.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I
So
hope I
really-
gave the audience something to think about.
Yeah.
Sure, quite sure.
And of course, there are just keep on popping in questions. We will get back and answer questions. There are a lot of questions that are outside of wedding photography and outside of the topic of today, but we will get back and answer in the comment fields. I know there's a lot of questions about A1 for Sony, etc. And
still
so,
the
yeah.
A1 for Sony question.
Yeah, so, but we'll get back on those in the comments field. All the because we wanted to
Thank
give
you.
all the attention to you as we were here, and catch up any wedding related questions here. But there's been all these hellos to everybody because I mean this is crazy fun to see where everybody is coming from.
they're from all over the
Lagos,
world.
Nigeria, and Angola, and it's just all over the world.
Fun.
Yeah, so it's really fun, and I'm happy that they come and watch and listen to us and hopefully learn something. And if they haven't learned anything and they want to learn something, then they can post a question on the comments field, and we will be in there and we will hopefully be able to help.
Yeah.
Most cases we do help.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Thank you very much.
And,
Thank you to everyone.
Yeah, and thank you, David.
No, thank you, Anders.
Yeah, and thank you, everybody over there. And we'll see you next Wednesday.
We maybe I can't do that.
Well, I'll be here at least. I'll be here. Maybe not David. Maybe there will be another guest. Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows or my knows?
A special appearance.
Exactly.
appearance.
Special appearance. And we'll figure something out. But there will be, one thing is for sure, there will be an Academy Live next Wednesday. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So everybody, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Toodaloo. See you. Have a nice one. Bye-bye.